Welcome to the Reed Frog Enclosure update, and this is going to be a little bit of a wild one. Okay, so I'm going to clarify some things before we get into the video so it won't be so confusing. I did order springtails for this enclosure, like I said I was going to do in the original Reed Frogs that I got my enclosure video. It's seeming that those springtails have caused me issues even though I didn't get them alive. So this video is an update basically about that. In this specific spot that we're looking at now in my aquarium, in my terrarium, I had placed in the dirt from the springtails that I ordered about, at this point, 5-6 days ago, almost a week at this point, I believe. And it's been getting misted and sprayed, and I have not seen any signs of life. So I look in here today, and I haven't looked at it here in a few days, and I'm looking around and I dig around. That's why there's like a little divot in here, and I'm seeing movement. I'm like, oh, maybe they're springtails. Maybe I'm not crazy anymore. Maybe they were really dormant, like they said, and now I'm just now seeing them. Maybe they're hiding. I turn around. No, there's like a little worm-looking thing in there, right? It's really small. It's really tiny. I think I've seen like 2 of them, and I'm like, okay, maybe they're baby springtails. So I Google what the baby springtails look like, specifically like a larva form. Turns out they don't have a larva form. So baby springtails just look like miniature springtails when they're born. So this somehow brought in some sort of pest. I didn't add any other dirt except for this. This is the only new thing substrate-wise that was added. Okay, I'm going to restate that because I feel like it was kind of complicated. So basically, when I received the package, I opened it, read the instructions, followed through with what I needed to do, and what I believed I needed to do at the time. I searched through the little container to see if there was any live springtails and make sure everything got here in one piece. All I seen was dead bodies, or what I thought were dead bodies. The instructions said that they could just be in a dormant state due to the high levels of CO2 in the container, and to just let them air out. So followed through, did that. It was kind of hard to let them air out completely in the container because they said just leave the container cracked but still sealed enough so that they can get air but can't get out. But I was like, that's kind of hard to do. The springtails are very small. They're going to get out. So I did it for a little bit, and then eventually I just added them into the tank, and I took that top layer, all the soil that was in there, and I just basically put it on the top of the soil that I already had, and I spread it out. I just didn't spread it out in the one area that you can see on camera. I spread it out a little bit to the left, near that moss grass spot that I have in the enclosure. So I did check in there. I didn't see any like little weird wormy guys in there either, but I did that. So it was kind of spread everywhere in the front of the tank, basically. But now I'm getting very cautious because what the heck is in my soil? It wasn't there before. Everything I have was sterile, brand new, fresh out of its packet. It was dry. There was no moisture, so it wasn't anything that just hit dry inside any materials, because everything I bought was dry, like bone dry when I first bought it. There's no little bugs flying around in here to lay eggs or anything. I don't have any of those pests, so I generally do not know where these came from, and they particularly are in the area where I put the dirt at. So one of them is right there. Actually, you can see one of them right there. Where did it go? Hold on. Right there. Like, what the heck is that? There's another one right there. I don't know what that is. So I'm going to reach out to them. Probably going to show them this clip because I don't know what any of those things are or why they're in my aquarium. I dug out a good 3 to 4 inches of substrate from to look around. The top layer, though, I didn't just dig and push to the side. I physically removed that and put it back into this container. It's mixed in with like some of the sphagnum moss. I went a little deeper than just the top layer just to get as much out as I could. And the further I went, I didn't see anything. It looks very normal. It looks so also a lot sandier at the bottom. My glass is kind of covered in the dirt. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything moving around anymore. I removed one of them that I seen that was just moving around on the top layer before I even started digging further down. And then the other one is in here as well, I believe. It was on the top layer when I scooped the rest of this out. So the 2 that I seen, I only ever seen 2, even when I was digging around, are gone. And the further down I go, I don't see any more. It's also just a lot more sand, so I'm guessing it might not be a habitable area. But yeah, most of this I just ripped out. So that's done. And you can even tell, like, you can tell that was a different substrate. Like, this substrate right here is more of a dark brown, the substrate that they have. And all of my substrate is a lighter, kind of like a cocoa brown. Like, it's a lighter tone. I have a little bit of the old stuff here. You can kind of see the difference in gradient. And that's not because this is misted or anything, because of the top layer, because as you can see, it's very moist down here, so everything trickles through. This is all moist. So it's just different material. So I'm probably gonna rip the rest of that old material out. Well, not old material, but their material out, and put it in here, and so I can just maximize that, because I don't know what the heck that little wormy guys were. Yeah, but that was weird. So I'm gonna try to clip some of this footage. I've been emailing them through yeah, I've been emailing the company through the Amazon site, 'cause that's where I bought them from, because they also sell on Amazon and it comes directly from them and everything. And I was talking to an individual when my order was kind of late, when I was a little when my order was late to arrive. When my order was when I was expecting my order and it didn't come on the day it was supposed to come, I had contacted them through the Amazon site, and they got back to me, so they do respond there. But ever since my packages have been delivered, I haven't been getting no response about the whole no springtails were alive in the bunch that I bought type of situation. So I ended up recontacting them again twice, resending the message I already sent, and sending another message with a additive to that. And I did get back, not from an actual person, I'm guessing like an operating system or something, because it just told me your case is now being reviewed. And I was like, case? I've never received a message like that. What do you mean by case? That was at this point, I think, around 2 days ago now. Yet to hear back from anybody still. So I'm going to look at the pack. I think I still have the papers from the package that I received when I got them. And I'm going to contact them from their direct email, send them a copy and screenshots from the Amazon thing so they can read through that. And also, I'm going to try to snippet a piece of this video and send that to them and kind of ask them, like, should I be worried about the worms that are in here? Because they weren't here before. Like, they literally were not here before. And it's crazy because they were just living in your substrate layer. So I don't know if you had some eggs of some sort in there and they just recently hatched. Because they're not deep, and my soil's only so deep. But yeah, I'm going to take out this water dish because it needs to be changed anyway. I'm going to take all this soil out that's going to be put back in here, because I'm still missing around half of the soil that was in here, and that's the rest of this. I'm going to take that out, put it into the container, clap that off. I'm going to also look around once I get this water dish. I'm going to look around, make sure I don't see any more little weird guys. And I'm going to try to clip this video, put it into my editing software, clip the clip, and send that to them and get this email prepared, because this is kind of very freaky weird. Like, I don't know. Okay, so this is the next little part of the update. I dug out as much material as I could without making like a huge empty spot, and when I changed the water bowl, I took some of this old material from here and kind of sifted it over to kind of even it out a little bit. But I did that. I have not seen any little guys in there. Well, actually, that's a lie. When I was taking substrate out, I found one more little guy. I don't know if he was the same guy that I thought I put in the first time. Because if you look back at the clips, or if you look back at the earlier footage, I had stated that when the first time I took out some substrate from here, I had thought, I'm pretty sure I got one of the other guys in there, and then I plugged the guy with the tweezers earlier from that. So I'm guessing that was the same individual. I'm hoping there's like a ton in here. But I removed all of that. Here is the container. It's a lot fuller than when I originally got it myself, obviously because I took out all the substrate. Okay, here to intervene for a second. What I was trying to say is that I took out all the substrate that I added from their container, and also as much as I could of all the surrounding substrate that would have touched that substrate, if that makes sense. So I took as much as I could of all of that, put it back in the container, including searching around for spots in case I've seen any of the little worm guys, and plop them in there. In total, I think I seen 4 to 5. And I believe I got all of those. There may have been one hanging out in there, but I checked in there really good. I didn't see any more. Like, I dug really deep all the way to like the barrier level, and I didn't see any more. So I think we're good. But anyway, move this around, put some new leaves in there, misted, change the water. Hopefully we're good. I don't know why this water just looks so weirdly shaped on camera. Hopefully we're good. I'm not seeing any more little dudes in here. I'm just seeing sand. So, the little things weren't humongous. So whatever they were, they kind of look like they may have just hatched recently. So I'm hoping there's no more hatchies popping out. Yeah. Before I get started, I want to point out that this is some old footage of Dew, from a couple months ago when he was still with us. And I thought it'd be cute to put in the background while I'm talking about the next little piece. So basically, the next couple of clips of footage that are going to come up is me showing you guys everything that basically the conversation that I've been going through the past couple days with this specific company. Stuff is blacked out because I just don't want to make it seem like I'm putting the company on blast. So I'm just going to black out the information and any information that's sensitive to me or sensitive to them. And I'm also going to give you kind of like a full receipt of when I ordered the item, when it got here, kind of like its whole travel plan. So I'm just going to give you a whole bunch of information. Let's start off with the shipping information. So it was shipped with UPS, and I ordered it on July 30th, I believe, 30th or the 31st. Pretty sure it's the 30th though. It didn't arrive to me until August 4th. It was supposed to be here on August 3rd, and that's verified with the shipping slip that was actually in the box. So we're already in the mail for an extra day, which just spelled bad news. So I messaged him on the 31st, and the package was ordered on the 30th, I believe. And I just wanted to get some extra information about how the whole shipping process would work. Like, would it be first day, or would it be first class shipping? Would it be overnight shipping, etc., etc.? Because at this point in time, I didn't have a specific expected delivery date. And I just wanted to be sure and kind of understand what was happening, since this was my first time ordering live creatures online. And you can kind of see it was pretty late in the afternoon, and I was kind of sleepy, so my grammar and everything was really horrible in this. Obviously, due to it being so late when I originally messaged them, I didn't get a response immediately. The only response I did get immediately was one of those automated ones, which I'm dealing with now, and I'm kind of waiting for them to actually give me a real person to respond. But that's the only type of information that I got for them that specific day. So I finally got a message back 2 days later, and it was from one of the representatives. We're just going to call her A. And she had messaged me stating, hey, we're shipping with the UPS. Here's your tracking number, so on and so forth. And so I type in this tracking number. Of course, it was probably just freshly made, so it didn't work. So on the 5th, I had messaged them and I was like, hey, I received your package. I waited the 24-hour window. They advised waiting 24 hours to see if the bugs started to respond and like kind of wake up. And I had did that. And there was nothing. There was still no life. Never received a direct response to that, so I ended up resending this message from this screenshot that you can see on the 7th. I just resent the same message, still no response. So I then waited even longer. Then I resent the message again with like a little additive to it saying, hey, I sent this message 3 days ago. I still haven't got a response, like what's going on? And that brings us to today, August 9th. Basically, I sent them a message reiterating all my other issues along with the new one and just how kind of tired I am of waiting and how long it's been since I've been waiting for a response. Almost a week at this point. So I also ended up sending them an email today, just expressing all my issues with the lack of communication and the obvious problems that I have, reiterating both messages. I literally just retyped them out word for word, bad grammar and all, and expressing like, hey, I've been waiting for so long, I kind of need a response from you guys. I'm actually kind of worried because, I have freaking worms in my tank that weren't there before until I added what you guys sent me. I even gave them a little snippet of the video clip of the worms wiggling around, and I got an automated message back. And I ended up just getting the same automated message that I got via the Amazon messaging. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time. I'm going to at least wait till this Thursday before I kind of get mentally upset about the situation. But other than that, I'm gonna show you guys a little clip of the clip that I sent them. It has no audio to it. It just literally just shows the worms wiggling around, thriving inside the little enclosure. So I'll update you guys as soon as I can. If it happens to be in this video, it'll be in this video. If it doesn't, then it'll be in the next update. I'm literally just waiting for them.